All right, so 359, and this is a problem where we're given a traffic light here, and we're given that this dimension h is 3.5 meters here, and we're looking to find the tension in each one of these cables. So cable from A to B, cable from A to C, and cable from A to D. And we're given that the traffic light mass is 20 kilograms, and I've already transferred that to the weight or a force, which is 196.2 newtons here. And so let's get started with this. So really what we want to do is we need to find the direction of each one of these cables. And the first step is to find the position vectors then from where they're attached to the traffic light to the poles that they're connected to. So I'm going to find the position vector from R to A to B. So let's take a look from A to B. In the x direction, which is here, we're moving from A to B. That's actually 3 meters in the x direction. So 3 in the x. How many in the y? Well, we go from h, which is 3.5, to a total height of 4. So in the y direction, oh, I'm sorry, in the y directions, that's this direction over here. Okay, so from A to B, we go from here to B, and that's 4 meters in the y direction. And then where I got confused, now the z direction, from A to B, we go from a height of 3.5 up to 4, so that's 0.5. So I didn't write IJK here just to keep things nice and short, but this is the vector RAB. Now let's write the vector RAC, the vector from from A to C. So from the x direction, that's this direction, we're actually moving backwards here 6 meters. So that's -6 in the x. And in the y direction, which is this direction, we're actually moving in the -3 here. That's -3. And then in the z from A to C, again, if this is 3.5, we move up, and that is up 2.5, because that pole where C is 6 meters. It's not 4 meters. So 2.5 up. All right. And then for A to D, the position vector from A to D, we have in the x direction from A to D, so it looks like 4 there. So we have 4. And then in the y direction, if the y is this way, that's negative from A to D, and that's 3 meters here. So that's -3. And then from 3.5 in height to 4, it's moving up 0.5. Okay. Now, what we really want to do is convert the force vectors to Cartesian coordinates. So what's that mean? Well, if we take the magnitude of the forces, for example, the magnitude of FAB, all right, and we multiply that by a unit vector that points from A to B. Remember, a unit vector is a length of 1. So we multiply that by the magnitude. We should get a Cartesian vector then in the direction from A to B. All right. So this is really what we want to do for each one of these forces to formulate our forces. So we need to transfer these position vectors to unit vectors. And remember, how we do that is just take the position vector, let's say RAB, take that position vector and divide it by its total magnitude RAB, or its total length RAB. And what that will do is scale it down. So that scales it down by its magnitude. So the length is a 1, which makes it a unit vector. Okay, so we need to know the magnitude of each one of these. So RAB, the magnitude of RAB is equal to 3 squared plus 4 squared plus 0.5 squared, and take the square root of that. So that's the square root of 9, 16, that's 25, 25.25, I think that is. So that's the square root of 25.25. All right, and for RAC, the magnitude, the length of RAC, we would do the same thing, -6 squared plus -3 squared plus 2.5 squared, and take the square root of that. And that comes out to be the square root of 51.25. And for RAD, the magnitude of RAD, 4 squared plus -3 squared plus 0.5 squared, and take the square root of that. And that's the same length as RAB, which is the square root of 25.25. All right, so we have the position vectors, we have their magnitude. Now we can convert each one of these to a unit vector. So let's move this down, and let's convert AB to a unit vector. So AB to a unit vector, we will have 3 divided by its magnitude, 25.25, and that's in the I direction. And then we have 4 divided by its magnitude, square root of 25.25, and the J direction, and then 0.5 divided by square root of 25.525 in the K direction. All right, so that's the unit vector for AB, and we can do the same by taking these values, the component values, and dividing by the magnitude to find AC as well. And I'm not going to write out the I, J, K components here for the next, so we'll have -6 divided by square root of 51.25, and then -3 divided by the square root of 51.25, and then 2.5 divided by the square root of 51.25. So that's the unit vector for AC, and then the unit vector for AD. We would do the same thing, 4 divided by square root of 25.25, -3 divided by square root of 25.25, and lastly 0.5 divided by square root of 25.525. Okay. So now we have all these unit vectors written out, and if we take, so the force of AB, the vector AB, is equal to the magnitude of AB times the unit vector AB. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our equilibrium equation here, where we just add all these forces and set them equal to 0. So let's do the sum of the forces in the x direction first and set those equal to 0. So in the x direction, we have all our I components. Remember, I is the one that is concerning the x direction. So we have 3 divided by 25.25. And we have, and that's times FAB. So we're taking the unit vector times the magnitude, which I'm just going to write FAB, minus this 6 over square root of 51.25 FAC, and then plus 4 divided by the square root of 25.25 FAD. And those should be all the x components here. And we set that equal to 0. And then we move to the y direction. And the sum of the forces in the y direction should be equal to 0. And then we'll use all of these. All right. So we go 4 divided by the square root of 25.25 FAB minus 3 divided by the square root of 51.25 FAC, and then negative 3 divided by the square root of 25.25 FAD, and set that equal to 0. And then we have to do the sum of the forces in the z direction. Set those equal to 0. Let's see, the first one, I'm going to have to scroll back and forth. 0.5 over 25.25. 0.5 divided by the square root of 25.25 FAB. And then we have 2.5 over 51.25 plus 2.5 divided by the square root of 51.25 FAC, and plus 0.5 divided by the square root of 25.25 FAD. And remember, in the z direction, we have to take into account the light, right? The light is actually pulling downwards here at this weight of 196.2 newtons. So we need to make sure that we're adding that to our equation in the z direction. So we have 196.2 newtons there, and setting that equal to 0. Oh, so this becomes complex because we have 3 equations and 3 unknowns. So how do you do this? Well, let's say we want to simplify this equation. We simplify it FAD, and then we put all the other terms on the other side. Then once we have FAD, we can sub it into the second equation, all right? And that eliminates FAD from this equation. And then we solve for one of the other ones, let's say FAC. And once we have FAC, we can plug it into this equation here. And through substituting in all these equations, we can solve for this. There are also linear algebra methods that you could use if you talk about those. If we make a matrix here of these equations with the right-hand side, we can use the inverse of the first matrix and multiply it by the second, but we're not going to get into that. So I'm not really concerned with your ability to keep track of variables and substitute things in. So let's just write out the answer here. So FAB comes out to be 348 newtons. FAC is 413 newtons. And lastly, FAD is the largest, or I'm sorry, the smallest at 174 newtons. So that is the solution to 359.